Saturday morning in Tel Aviv, the bastion of Israel's liberal culture. At the Tmuna Theatre, the evening show is sold out. This is a place for avant-garde and fringe productions. This evening's play, Palestine Year Zero, written and directed by Einat Weitzman. It deals with an insurance assessor who is estimating the cost of damage done to Palestinian homes by the Israeli authorities. Before it was first performed, the office of the culture minister, Miri Regev, assessed it. A complaint had been lodged because the play apparently contained messages of incitement that undermine the state and insult its symbols. For its author, a very uncomfortable situation.
It was the end of the rehearsals, and we became paranoid because we were scared from everyone who just entered the door in the rehearsals.
Do you mean you were suspicious that the people who were coming in to see the rehearsals had been sent by the culture ministry?
Yes. I started to be suspicious on the cleaning people. For making art, you need an autonomous place outside of the gazing eye of the state.
Israel likes to project an image around the world that is one of an open society in which dissent is not persecuted. But there's a growing fear here that a new generation of political leaders wants to shut down critical voices. Some say the culture minister, Miri Regev, is trying to gain control over cultural production, putting the vitality of this country's culture and its freedom of creation in jeopardy. Many talk of a culture war that has been declared against Israeli artists.
אמרו לי תמיד להתחיל בציטטה. זה עושה רושם תרבותי. אז קבלו. כמו שאמר פעם פילוסוף סיני ידוע, סנצ'ו, cut זה בולשיט! cut זה בולשיט!
Over the last year, Miri Regev has become one of the most talked about politicians. Her critics call her Trump in high heels. She generates a constant stream of headlines. She has spent most of her career serving in the army. She became chief media censor and then a spokesperson. A profile she made sure no one would forget.
אם צריך לצנזר, אני אצנזר. את יודעת, הייתי צנזורית צבאית ראשית, תשאלי את הכתבים איך הייתי.
Here is a culture minister who has called artists arrogant, hypocritical and ungrateful, and she rails against the liberal elite. She sets out a so-called loyalty in culture plan, threatening to condition support for cultural institutions on the contents they present or the place where they perform.
Taxpayers are fed up with having a situation where they are paying money for people who describe themselves as an elite and are rubbishing the country. They say, by all means, go ahead and do it, but we as taxpayers are not willing or prepared to pay it. And that, I think, is the core of what this is all about.
So are you making the case for censorship?
No, not censorship.
So freedom of expression with a limit?
No, freedom of expression unlimited. Freedom to get government funds is limited.
Approval ratings show that a large number of people believe that too. Miri Regev sees it as a cultural revolution, which takes us to one of her other battlefields, the Jewish settlements. We followed her to Kiryat Arba in the occupied West Bank. That night was the first time that the National Theatre, Habima, had ever come to perform here. A move that many say normalizes the residence of settlers in occupied territory, or Judea and Samaria in biblical terms.
זה מהלך היסטורי, זאת אמירה, זה מסר, תרבות, היא זכות בסיסית של כל אזרח במדינת ישראל, בין אם יהודי, בין הוא ערבי, בין הוא גר בפריפריה, בין הוא גר במרכז, וגם בלי בושה ובלי להתנצל אם הוא גר ביהודה ושומרון.
And so here is A simple story, not the question of settlements, but the title of this play, written by the Israeli Nobel Prize laureate Shai Agnon. A tale of an impossible love at the turn of the 20th century, driving a young man from melancholy to madness. The Culture Ministry issued a memo that's become known as the Loyalty Form. From now on, cultural institutions that would perform in the occupied West Bank would benefit from a financial bonus. Those that wouldn't may face funding cuts. For the artists who have so far refused on moral grounds, the sanction is unacceptable. For the public here, it is a just recognition.
If it's a national theatre and it's a national budget, so you must go everywhere there are Israeli people.
But some of the performers want to make their feelings clear. Before the show, the lead actress Yevgenia Dodina visited the nearby divided city of Hebron. She was guided by former soldiers who now campaign to end the occupation. Not a word, but her tour said it all.
Can understand that a young author or a young playwright can say, I'm afraid, I don't want to lose my audience.
Back in Tel Aviv, we met with one of the liberal vanguard. A.B. Yehoshua, the 80-year-old writer, reflects on a society that is increasingly turning its sights inward.
The inner censorship is far more dangerous than what you will call the government censorship or the government instruction.
As the peace process with the Palestinians remains frozen, and with new leaders leaning toward more populist agendas, Israel is for now busy fighting on the cultural front.